What is up, Packer fans? Back again. Excited to be here. Today, Packers had a practice that seemed a little bit lighter. Didn't It had some intensity. There was a lot of exciting stuff that happened, but it wasn't like a full 11 on 11 hardcore practice all day. Just seemed like these guys were just going out trying to do their business and keep it light. No fights, nothing intense, but it seemed like a really, really good day of practice. I was excited to hear some names of guys that were healthy again and some guys that haven't been really in the mix, finally getting some attention and having some plays. So, pretty exciting. To start off with, there was an injury designation for Dominic Daphne. He had been cut off a week ago or so, and people were questioning why he was gone because he looked like he was good. He looked like he was doing well. He slimmed down. He was playing good, and I thought he was gonna make the team either as like that H back or tight end again. He kind of played that fullback role for a while, so thought that's where he'd be at, and then he was cut. So I kind of questioned it too, and now we see that he was hurt. They had an injury settlement with him. He was designated as an IR, but I guess he's off IR now, and he got cut with the injury designation in the settlement. So now he's able to go out and find another team, and I guess he's excited to hopefully get on a roster and figure it out. Wish him nothing but the best. He has been great for us, and total pro is pro. Obviously, there's competition in that tight end room. A lot of guys kind of trying to step up, make their name, DeGuara and Tyler Davis. So we'll see how that plays out. Tyler Davis, again, had another false start in practice today. Rashawn Gary got him to jump. So it was not a good day for him. I think that he is totally on the bubble. He might be a guy that the Packers let slide to the practice squad because the idea of the practice squad is to keep 53 guys, but keep the 53 guys that another team will take if you get them, or if they slip to the practice squad. Those 16 guys on the practice squad are guys that if you let slide to the squad, you feel like the rest of the league is not going to take them off of the squad and add them to their team. So it's a strategy that goes into it because there's a lot of guys over the years that they've done that with, where that happened with Chris Barnes when he was a rookie. They let him slip to the practice squad, but then, he cleared that. Week one, he was the starter. So that's, look for that kind of strategy to happen. The 53 isn't always going to be the best 53 that they want to have start week one. It's all about strategy, trying to keep, I think it's 69 guys. So, just try to get the best 69 guys that you have or you can get. So, try to structure it so that other teams don't steal your players. We have a lot of guys, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers are deep. Secondary is super deep. We have wide receivers if Danny Davis comes back, and then Ishmael Hyman's still on the roster. So we've got like 8 or 9, 10 receivers that can play. We don't want them all to get taken if we put them on the practice squad. So it'll be interesting to see how the Packers structure all this, how LaFleur wants his team to look, how Goody goes into this whole process. There's not many weeks left. I think, what are we, 3 weeks away? 2 weeks away? Yeah, 3 weeks now. So we're getting close, counting down. I think it's like 19 days or something like that. I'm super excited. It's next week will be the first day of September on next Thursday, I think. So then only 10 more days after that. So we are under 20 days, right around the corner. These guys are starting to really get dialed in. It's really nice because I was hearing Joe Barry talk about it this morning, that these guys are, they've been in the system for a while now. It's starting to click for a lot of them, like JJ and Agbar. We saw, it kind of took him a while to come on, and now he's really flashed. He's been kind of the talk of camp now. Romeo Doubs just continues to impress, but to just see how some of these guys who came in a little bit, as rookies and took them a little while, it's nice to see them kind of step up and start making plays. So today, we got Enos Gaines back yesterday, the safety, but today we got Tariq Carpenter, another safety back. So that's huge. Nice to have him back. He's the rookie out of Georgia Tech, the 7th rounder, who I like. I think he's like 6'3", 240 as a safety. He's kind of that safety linebacker hybrid. He could be a guy that turns into like a run stopper at some point. I don't, down in the box and kind of plays that just like big safety role. So I don't see him as like a pass defender or anything like that. He's not going to be covering guys deep in double coverage or anything like that. I wouldn't put him on even a tight end. I think somebody like Kyle Pitts would tear him up. So he's more of just in the box, run stopper. But I look for him to kind of develop. We'll see what he can do. Just nice to have him back. It's just more competition. That safety room was getting pretty thin. Today, we still had Vernon Scott out. I have not heard the severity of the injury yet. I know it's probably something kind of serious. I'm going to check into that after this video and just kind of see where he's at. I haven't looked and did not see any updates, so don't know what to think of that. We will see. So today started out, it was a lot of just, one-on-ones type of stuff early on just to get these guys warmed up. There's Bakhtiari's still off. He's off the PUP list, but he's still off to the side doing just kind of rehab work. Not a lot of team reps and all that stuff yet. Not just yet. He's still just working it out, but it's nice that he's off. It just shows that he is progressing like they hope he does, and should be back soon. Like I told you guys yesterday, I think he's on track to be there week 1. I thought maybe it would have been a lot longer than that. So great news that we got yesterday. So Jair Alexander gave Christian Watson a welcome to the Packers. Watson had to go up against them and in one-on-ones, and Jair, he went up against Doubs and Watson, and Jair was 3 for 3 with incompletions. So welcome to the league, rookies. Going up against an elite corner is different than going up against, got the like the 5th, 6th, 7th corners on the team. So Jair, I think, is going to have a big season. He just looks really, really good, really fluid. Looks like he's ready to play. His confidence is at an all-time high. He's always had that swagger, so he's just kind of put it together. He's the pick that, when Goody drafted him so high out of Louisville, I liked him, but there was another guy on the board that I actually had higher, and Jair was the guy, and it's worked out. So pretty awesome. I'm a huge Jair Alexander fan, and I just really look for him. I'm excited to see him this season. I just look for him to have a big year. Him being hurt last year, then only coming back for I think 8 plays against San Francisco just was underwhelming totally. So it'll be nice to have him back. So today was kind of something scary kind of happened. During the team drill, Jaron Reed went down with an injury, and he ran off and went into the Hudson Center, and we didn't see him for a little bit, and then he came out and his wrist was taped up and he was good to go. So we got lucky on that one. Knock on wood every day, just that we don't have injuries. So far, the Packers have been clean on all that. I'm going to knock on it again because I just said it again. So not really superstitious, but for people who are, I just want to make sure you guys know I got your back. And and so just a tough day, for him. He's such a crucial part of this defensive line, having him next to Kenny Clark and then allowing Devontae Wyatt to kind of come on and then rotate Dean Lowry in slowly. And then you've got, Slayton, and we'll see who else they keep, So just a guy that's really crucial for this D-line to have a lot of rotation and guys that are fresh and keep Kenny Clark fresh. So good to see him back out there today after going down. I just was worried when I first saw that note, and then the next note was that he was fine. So it was kind of a 5 minutes of terror, but all good there. And so then we saw some plays today. We haven't seen Christian Watson since basically OTAs. He got hurt going into training camp. So we didn't see him right away. I didn't know how long the injury would be. They said it was like a knee receivers and knees. It could be anything. It could be long term, So we didn't really get a timetable on him. Packers are pretty quiet about their guys. They don't ever really let stuff out about how long it's going to be. There's some injuries that if they tell us the injury, we can kind of determine what the timetable might be. Obviously, Bakhtiari's 20 months on the ACL, and then Elkin Jenkins is about, like just about a year now. So pretty close. I think it's like 13 months now, actually, but just shows the difference. Everybody's different, but so I'm not saying that Watson had an ACL issue. He just had his knee was just messed up for a couple weeks. But anyways, he was back. He came off the PUP list a couple days ago, the same time that Bobby Tanyan and Bakhtiari came off. So pretty awesome that he's back. But today he finally started doing some stuff in one-on-ones. He had some really nice grabs. He mossed Rico Gafford, who's the speedster, the fastest guy on the team, down the sideline. A throw from Jordan Love, which, Jordan Love, he keeps getting all this flack. I heard today, from Colin Coward that he didn't think that Love developed at all, like that, zero. And I'm like, how can you watch him play now and not notice how much he has developed? He looks so much more comfortable. He has so much more poise, and he can read the offensive line, tell what the coverage is going to be, set the protection, flip the plays. I get it's all the basic stuff that quarterbacks need to be able to do, but he does it with so much more confidence now. He's doing it, with ease. He he knows how to set up his throws, where he wants to go sometimes with the football and how to set that up. And then he's made some really nice throws. He really has. And his red zone offense has been great so far. His little fade routes to Romeo Doubs are pretty impressive. And he had some nice throws, some crossers to Winfrey, like 25-yard crossers. So I like what I've seen out of him. Really has progressed. And for people to say that he hasn't shows that you're not really watching closely. I mean, it's maybe not the huge jump that Aaron Rodgers took when he was behind Favre, but everybody develops differently, and I think that Love is right on track. He didn't have a rookie offseason. That's usually a huge time for these players to kind of knock out all the kinks and figure out what works and just kind of learn the offense, learn the system. He kind of had to do that last year. So this is kind of like his second year. That first year is kind of like, it was COVID year. Everything was just out of whack. And for rookies, I get there was other rookies that year, and some of them are playing okay, but it's still, it affects people differently. So I think Jordan Love's going to be fine. He's 6'4". He's got a cannon for an arm, super athletic, and he's starting to figure it out now. So I'd be worried if I was the rest of the league. If the Packers go from Favre to Rodgers to Love, and Love can have any kind of success, it would be, just pretty amazing how the Packers, were able to continue the legacy of quarterbacks. But I am confident in Love. I have, when the Packers had Brett Hundley, I wasn't super confident in him, and some other guys throughout the years that the Packers had trying to, I like Tim Boyle, but just he wasn't the future of the Packers. So I think Love can be that guy. I think the Love to Doubs connection, I think Love to Watson can be really a big connection. But yeah, so Watson, big play early, big play in the middle of practice today. And the cool thing is it's just nice to see him out there. He's a young kid. I heard him talk today. I was just trying to listen to what was going on at practice, and I just liked the fact that he wants to learn. Rodgers is like, yeah, he's been asking me questions. He's trying to pick my brain. He wants to figure stuff out. And then I heard that Rodgers has been taking time with these rookies, eating with them at lunch, trying to talk with them about stuff. Trying to be really open and be available for these young guys so that they can come to him and ask questions and kind of just pick his brain about what he wants and how they can get better. And him talking to the media and opening up this line of communication has really bolstered how these guys have started to gel and to really connect with each other. So I think that these receivers are going to be fine. Even if we have like 4 number 2s across the board, I think that's better than having 1 number 1 and, a bunch of nobodies. So, Watkins can play, Lazard can play, Rodgers trusts Cobb. And then I think Doubs is going to just step up and be huge I think he's going to be great. I really do. And then Watson has so much like physical gift, like so many physical gifts, athletic ability, his height, his speed. I think he can be a guy that can be a huge, piece to the puzzle, stretch the field, open things up underneath for guys, like Cobb working in the slot or Doubs trying to hit him on the crosser. Then you get, there's so many different weapons and they all have different skill sets. I think Watkins can be big, his speed and his physical ability. If he can stay healthy, dude's a monster. He's kind of like Debo before Debo. They used him in all kinds of ways in Buffalo before he would return kicks and return punts and, end arounds and running plays and then, catch the ball. So he's a guy that can be utilized in all different ways. And if he can just stay healthy, he can have a big year. So I look for him to do that. And I'm just excited about how it could go with him. So, yeah, so today they interviewed Rasul Douglas, and he was saying that the Packers defense might play the first half. They might start against the Chiefs on Thursday. That could be big news, just to see them out there. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to play that game, so it might be the backup quarterback. I don't know who that is right now in Kansas City, but I thought it was Chase Daniel, but I think he went to the Chargers, so I'm not sure who it is anymore. But if the Packers defense play that game, it'd be so awesome to see how good they can actually be. He said that he doesn't think they are going to need to play. He wants to play, but they don't think they need to play in order to be good. I think this Packers defense is going to be elite, top 5 for sure, maybe even top 3, if not the best in the league. So far this training camp, a name that keeps popping up, stepping up. He's led the team in tackles in both preseason games, the 49er game and the Saints game. Isaiah McDuffie, the middle linebacker. He was drafted last year. He kind of had a quiet rookie year. Came on as a special teamer, but made the team nonetheless. And this year you can see that it's really kind of coming all together for him. He's figuring it out. He's stepping up. He's making plays on special teams and in the middle as a linebacker, blitzing and stopping the run. He's really come around, and it's nice to see him. He might have jumped Chris Barnes for that number 3 linebacker spot in the middle, so we will see about that. But having Chris Barnes and Isaiah McDuffie as your backups to two guys like Campbell and Walker, that's an awesome middle for the Packers. And for so long we haven't had depth at defensive line or a linebacker, and it looks like they're starting to get the pieces together. Outside linebackers still up for question. We know that Kobe Jones is a name we keep hearing a lot. He had a sack today. There's JJ Enagbar, who's stepped up in the preseason game. He had that ghost move that's pretty cool to watch. And then Ladarius Hamilton, he was stepping up before the injury, and then now he's back, and he's had some really nice plays during camp now. So there's a lot of guys that are kind of on the bubble. It's going to be interesting to see who can step up in this next game. This is going to be the final, basically, dress rehearsal. They have to get down. The Packers have to knock down to the 53-man roster on August 30th, I believe it is. So that's next Tuesday. Is that right? I think that's right. No, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look. I think the 31st is the Wednesday, and Thursday is the 1st. So, but yeah, so that'll be huge for just to see. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's the 30. Sorry, guys. 30th, they will be knocking down to 53, and that's pretty coming up quick. That's right around the corner. These guys have one last chance to really make it on this team if they're on the bubble. Guys like like Heflin, Slayton, and the other Slayton are all kind of on the line to make the team on the defensive line. Jonathan Ford's back there, the rookie, but he's kind of on the bubble, and so it's just there's so many position battles. I think JJ and Agbar is going to be one of those outside linebackers that make it. But what Darius Hamilton looks like, he's been stepping up enough to make it, and then you can just keep hearing Kobe Jones. So we'll see how it goes. Whatever guy steps up the most against the Chiefs, it'll be a good environment to see who can play, who can step up in a hostile area. Arrowhead's one of the loudest and most intense stadiums in the league. It's not as bad in preseason, but still the fans are pretty crazy nonetheless. So we'll see how it goes, and the position battles will be exciting. I can't wait. And so many people tell me like, "Oh, I don't like preseason because it's not the number one guys. The games don't mean anything." But like LaFleur was saying, all games mean something. You can always learn from something. And then to me, it's like, so these guys, a lot of these guys are on the bubble. They haven't made a roster yet in their careers. They're either undrafted free agent rookies or guys that kind of been bouncing around a little bit from team to team or from league to league even. And they're trying to make their dream come true. They're trying to. That's why I like college so much, because those guys are working towards the NFL. Sometimes these NFL guys, they get paid and they just they care, but they're just not the same urgency or intensity as guys who are trying to fulfill their dreams or finally realize their dreams. So watching these guys come out and just like that Micah Abernathy interception last week or against the Saints, like he jumped and dove and kind of tripped and still just hung his body out there, and nothing to lose. Just he wants to do everything he can, and he's a guy that could find his way on this roster if he can step up on special teams or something. But that's what it's all about, is just finding these guys that they've maybe taken a crazy route to get here, but now this is their chance to show that they can make the team, and for them to step up and do it. It's just awesome to watch, and it's just a really cool experience. So I told somebody that, and they're like, well, now you made me want to watch it, or maybe gave me a different viewpoint on it or something. So kind of funny, but that's just how I look at it. To me, it's football still, and I like it, but there's if you have more stock in the backstory of all of it, it makes it fun too. So just big roster battles all over. Basically quarterback set, running backs pretty much set. We'll see if they keep forward with Patrick Taylor. Tyler Goodson, I think, makes the team. So, I don't think they have a fullback. They'll use tight ends back there. Wide receivers still at the bottom end. Still need to decide who's gonna stay. How many? 7 or 8? How many? I just don't know if they can keep 8. Offensive line towards the bottom, depending on if Bach's starting and if Jenkins is starting. And then the defense is pretty much set. We just have backups at, a few positions that need to be figured out. So still, middle linebacker looks like it's pretty much solid. But safety is out there. And a long snapper, I kind of jokingly thought whoever the Bills long snapper that they don't keep, Packers should go out and get, because the Bills roster looks so stacked on all levels. They really look good this year. So I don't know how, they say that they're confident in Jack Coco. He hasn't really long snapped since high school, and they just saw some of the physical tools he had and kind of what he's a position player and kind of what he did in college, and thought, maybe he can long snap again and we could teach him what to do and he can do what we want. So that's kind of what Joe Barry and Rich Bisaccia were talking about today, was how he kind of works into all this. And LaFleur was just saying, yeah, we really liked just what he kind of brings to the table. So we'll see if Coco can do it. I like the name, so I hope he stays. But, otherwise, if the Bills do have a long snapper they have to get rid of, I think we should at least give him a look. So, then what happened next? So then we went to team drills. Robert Tonyan was catching passes during the special teams drills and from Rodgers. And this time, though, he was doing this a couple days ago, and he has been since he came back, just kind of doing routes with Rodgers, getting some timing down. But this time he did it one-on-one with Jair Alexander, which was fun to watch. Jair shut him down, but still, it was still running routes, trying to shake a guy, and just trying to give him a little bit of a test, see how that knee is, see where he's at, and just kind of a cool thing to see out there. Just, those two guys, just because it's been a while since Jair's been playing, and it's been a long while since Robert Tonyan was back out there. So just awesome to see, two Packers that have been around a while and really know how to play and are pros and guys that can be motivation for younger guys to just where the standard is in Green Bay. So Yeah, Rogers to Watkins, nice plays today. They were on it today. Watkins has really stepped up recently. I just like where he's at. He just keeps kind of developing. Biggest key with him, like I keep saying, is health. He has to stay healthy. He cannot get injured, and he cannot be out for the season. We need him. We need his presence of mind. The fact that he's been in the league since like what 2013 or 14. I think it's 8 years now. It's just he's a guy that has had success. He's won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. He's got the experience, and he can really teach these young guys. And at the same time, he can put up some numbers and hopefully build something here this year that can get him either I don't think he'll get a contract here, but a contract somewhere else at the very least. The Packers are going to probably move forward with these young guys. They look like they're ahead of schedule. Rogers was saying today how Romeo Doubs, he's going to have to be ready to play with what he's been doing in preseason and in training camp. He's going to be a guy that the Packers offense relies on early and often, and basically that he's got to be ready. So hopefully he can get some of those drops out of his system now and be ready to go. I just like his gamerness. Devontae Adams dropped some early on in his career too, and Doubs is bigger and faster than Adams. So I just think that with Rodgers, he can make anybody really good, and then guys that are already really good just get to the great level at that point. So, all right, so continuing in team drills, Sean Davis was still in the back or in the secondary with Adrian Amos as Darnell Savage is out with that hamstring injury. When he got hurt, he kind of laughingly said it's a fast person injury, and I thought at that time, well, then he's going to be fine. But that's not the case. He's been out for 2 weeks now, 2.5 weeks now, and like I said, we're under 20 days to the start of the season, September 11th, my birthday. I'm so excited. So, but and not having him out there worries me. So the Packers need to find out if Sean Davis can start. I know they had Vernon Scott and some of those other safeties came back, but they're not. Enos Gaines and Tariq Carpenter aren't really starting talent. Dallin Levitt's still out, but I don't know where he's at. And so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Really nice play today by the defense. The defense, it's too good. It really is, especially for these young receivers with young offensive line, because you don't have Elkin Jenkins or Bach out there, and then with Rodgers trying to pick it apart with these young guys who may be running wrong routes or making the wrong read. So Eric Stokes was breaking up passes against Watson, which was a good battle. Rasul Douglas was breaking up passes. He knocked one away from Cobb from an Aaron Rodgers pass. I like Rasul Douglas in the slot. 6'2", cover corner, big and physical. Looks like he's kind of acclimating to this position really well. He's the guy that I was worried about him having a one-hit wonder type of year last year. He came off of a practice squad and kind of was buried on the roster in the Eagles and then the Cardinals, and he's a guy that the Packers kind of scooped up and just needed somebody to fill a role because of Jair Alexander's injury. So, and I think Kevin King was hurt too, actually. So we had to go out and get somebody, and then we got Douglas, and then he just kind of came on real quick. Eric Stokes was playing well enough, and Douglas had that game-winning interception against the Cardinals, and had some other big plays throughout the season, made the Pro Bowl. So I kind of just thought, well, maybe he was just, a product of being in the right place at the right time and all this, kind of just didn't know where he was at. But I like him. I thought he was good, and I wanted him to succeed. They paid him, and now just seeing how he's transitioned to the slot, going up against the ones, going up against Rodgers, just having big time stops. It looks like he is the real deal, and the Packers stole him, basically. They got a gem with this guy, and I'm super excited about Douglas. These corners, obviously Jair, we don't even have to talk about Jair Island. We know it's going to be a place where receivers go, and we never hear from him again. And then Eric Stokes, he's basically a young Jair. He's quiet, but this guy can play. And then obviously Douglas is a beast. So just really exciting to have those three. I don't think the Packers have had three cover corners like this in a long time. Doesn't seem like the Packers have had a team like this in a long time. elite on all levels, defensive line, linebackers, outside linebackers, cover corners, safeties, offensive line, if those guys, both of those all pros can get back, or, Elkin Jenkins, and then Rodgers and those two running backs, like, it's stacked on all levels. I don't know if the Packers have had a team this good in a while, and I just hope that finally, after 13-3 seasons in a row, we can finally, 13-4 last year, but you know what I mean, 13 win seasons. I hope that they can finally get over the hump and win a playoff game at home, and then another one, and then hopefully get to the Super Bowl, or whatever route they have to take. If they got to win them on the road like they did back in 2011 when they went, 3 road games on their way to the Super Bowl, at Philly, at Atlanta, and then at Chicago, on the way to Dallas to beat the Steelers. So, that was crazy. They did that, and now we've been number 1 seeds all these years in a row, and we can't do anything with it. So, but anyway, so Randall Cobb entering his 12th year as a Packer, well, not as a Packer, but as a pro receiver. He was with the Texans for a little while, and the Cowboys actually, but he's playing really well. He looks good. He looks fit. It looks like he's leaned up a little bit, got quicker. He had a nice slant across the middle. He's just playing well. He's just doing good. He's doing everything he needs to. Rodgers trusts him. That's the biggest thing. That's, we heard Goody say it last year. That's the only reason why he's here anyway. But super exciting that Randall Cobb is playing well. It just gives us another layer, another guy that can go out there and make plays. People are sleeping on Cobb. He was a Pro Bowler. I know that was like 2014, but he's still a guy that can play. He's got Rodgers' trust, and last year he had a 2-touchdown game. He's a guy that can make plays. I'm just, 8 receivers out there that can do something, and people are saying that we have no receivers and Rodgers, is going to have a down year. I just think they could have a really big year. Rodgers could be spreading the ball around to all these different guys and really have a good season. I'm not worried too much about it at all. I'm excited. I really am. So, then with the 2s today on defense, Enos Gaines was back on the team. Obviously, was injured for a couple weeks, but he's back out there. So he was with the 2s. He's a guy that they like a lot. They seem to like him a lot. He's a guy that gets a lot of looks. He was hurt, so they were bummed. Now he's back. I kept calling him Keyshawn Nixon. It's Keyshawn Nixon. I heard Bisaccia say that earlier, so I will not get that wrong. I didn't really know how to pronounce it, so it looked like Keyshawn, but it's Keyshawn, just a different way of spelling it. But Keyshawn Nixon, Rico Gafford, and the Dallin Leavitt guy are all Bisaccia's guys, so they're all likely to make the team if they look like they're making some kind of contribution on special teams. I think they really like Dallin. I think he's a guy that might make the practice or get thrown on the practice squad. Hopefully they don't take him, or he might make the roster and try to hide somebody else on the practice squad. But we'll see how that works out. It's gonna be a lot of strategy that goes into this 53-man, this 16-man, this 69-man roster, and they have 8 days to do it. Basically, the 30th. So right around the corner. The defense, the defense was good today. They really 2-minute. There was a final 2-minute period at the end. Basically, the defense shut them all down. Shut down Rodgers. Shut down Love. They had some nice plays. Watson had another play in 2-minute drill, skied over the defense on a 25-yard pass from Love. Really a nice catch. He's starting to really come on. It's early, but he's flashing, and that's what you want to see. That's what you're hoping to see. And so for Watson, it's big. He just wants to be back out there. He said it's just nice to be on the field. It's nice to be doing something. Back on 11-on-11, kind of some more competitive drills, not doing just one-on-ones or running against air. He's actually running against guys, and he's making plays. So for him to step in and want to learn and be so into it already, that's huge. Cobb was really involved on these 2-minute drills. A few nice grabs from Rodgers and Love. And then, basically Rodgers hit DeGuara on a corner. And then that was the end of that one. And Love ended up with a field goal. So the 2-minute drills were, subpar. But this defense is so good that it's going to make the offense better. But I think a lot of teams are going to struggle with how good this Packers defense this year. Each level, like I keep saying, is so stacked. And if Rodgers, obviously he's got a makeshift offensive line, makeshift receiver kind of set up right now, but it's still Rodgers, and he's seen everything and he knows everything and he knows what these guys do, so he knows the tendencies, but they also know him the same way, so it works both ways. But still, I just thought that Packers offense would have more success. Normally the defense is way ahead of the offense, but the offense kind of always wants to stalemate them. They get them here and there, but the defense has really been winning these battles, and it looks like another day for the defense. But awesome that Jaron Reed is not out for longer. He's back and good, so that was a big scare today. And awesome to have Tariq Carpenter back and just having Bach back. And this team is healthy and guys are looking good. We got to get through one more preseason game against the Chiefs on Thursday. I'll have a video about that coming up later this week. Thanks again for checking out the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Peace out. Go Packers. Later.